Okay. Need a motion on the work session minutes for October the 4th.
Mr. President, move for approval.
All in favor, raise your hand.
6 with 3 and 9 abstaining.
Okay. Need a motion on the regular council minutes for October the 4th.
Mr. President, move for approval.
All in favor, raise your hand.
8.
8 with 1 abstention.
Okay. All right. Mayor, we got some things going on.
We do.
You get started. I guess you got all these you're going to deal with.
Yes, sir. We do. Good evening to everyone. Good evening to the council.
Good evening.
Good evening to all the citizens who come out in person, those who are watching online. We've got a lot of great news to share, I think, and we're going to honor some of our community heroes as well. But we're going to start on a pragmatic note, unfortunately, and that is it's regarding our recycling program and the issues around Repower South. 35 employees were laid off today at Repower South, and it's incumbent upon everyone that's on the council as well as part of this community to understand that we have done everything in our power to make this work for over 2 years. Before that, Mayor Strange and his team did the same. However, this partnership has not worked. We've subsidized Repower's operational expenses to the tune of $2 million. But Repower South has not been able to produce a profit under their current operating structure. They have not been able to address our recycling needs. So we had to make a difficult decision. We've probably been talking about this with council leadership at least for a year, if not closer to a year and a half, about how we will go about doing things on the recycling front and how long we can continue to subsidize a private entity. We've got a lot of business owners in this room tonight and many more throughout this city who receive no subsidies from this community, and they provide great services. We could not continue to carry this particular private business. And so in fairness, we had to really decide whether or not to keep kicking the can down the road or just make a decision. And I made the executive decision that we were going to have to cut bait with Repower South and look for other opportunities to have a recycling program, one that would not require the city to continue to subsidize this private entity. It is important that the employees as well as the council understands that Repower employees are not employees of the city. They're employees of a private company, just like thousands more are in this city. And as a private company, we have no authority over who they hire or who they fire. They have other operations. Maybe some of those employees may have an opportunity there. But we cannot continue to subsidize this program with this private business year after year on taxpayers' dime when they have not shown a working operating model that would allow us to think that things will change anytime soon. They had obligations to ensure that they were fully funded and not subsidized by our city, and they have not been able to produce that. And so at the end of the day, these are the decisions that we have to make from time to time. You try things, you inherit things, and ultimately we're responsible for these things at this point in the administration. And with them not being able to produce or show any plan of how they would be able to get off of public subsidy, we did not think it was fair to continue to extrapolate this to some other type of agreement or to extend this agreement with Repower South. So it's unfortunate, but I will say for those employees that are working for this private company, there are a lot of openings with the city of Montgomery. So we welcome them to apply. In many of the departments, we're looking for great people, hardworking people all across this city and various departments. So there are opportunities with the city of Montgomery in light of the failure for Repower South and their leadership team to really do what they told the city they could do when they first came here. And they have not been able to live up to that. And that is just something that we've had to make the decision, and that decision has been made. So I thought it would be important to update the council on that issue right now, and also update the public on where we stand as it relates to working with businesses and working with ideas that we have to make this community better. We're open to that, but we cannot carry those ideas when the businesses themselves are failing and their model is not one that's sustainable. Now, turning the page to something very positive, I want to certainly highlight the good news that many of you were able to take part in today with Project Manna. City of Montgomery has landed a $600 million beverage production and distribution complex. This venture will be one of the world's largest beverage manufacturers. The facility will produce more than $60 million in cases of beverages per year, 280 new jobs, and that number down at the bottom, which I wish they had highlighted a circle, the average salary is over $71,000. And so again, that is a great opportunity for Montgomeryans and people throughout the river region in central Alabama. But we certainly want Montgomeryans to be at the top of the list for those opportunities that are coming right there to Manna in the next couple of years. We're excited about their leadership. We're excited about their track record, their commitment to MBEs, otherwise known as minority business enterprises, as well as their willingness and their interest in working with our chamber, working with our Department of Economic Development, incubators and innovators to help small businesses grow and partner with them. As much as we talked about anything else, and probably more than we talked about anything else, it was the type of workforce that we had here in Montgomery and in the region, and what they want to do outside of their operational responsibilities, and making sure that they can partner with local businesses and help them grow and succeed. And so it wasn't just something they said once or twice, it was something that they really put an emphasis on in terms of why they wanted to be here. So we're grateful for all of our partners, City Council, our state legislators, our county commissioners, as well as our boards, our Industrial Development Board, our private partners, the Chamber of Commerce, CSX Railroad, Alabama Power, many others who were at the table and helped make this come about. And certainly we want to thank Governor Ivey and her team for really coming in strong at the state level to assist us with some incentives to help us close this deal. But this is a really big project, and if you haven't had the opportunity to read about it or see it on the news, hopefully you'll be able to read or watch it at the 10 o'clock news tonight or tomorrow morning. But it is a major project and one we're really proud of. And I hope that for those who are wondering about the type of jobs we're bringing, that average salary does not include benefits and retirement. So when you think about the entire package that will be coming along there, it is significant. And these aren't things that just happen. These are things that really take a lot of work and a lot of collaboration. And we really started this project about a year and a half ago. So that tells you about how long these things take to even get to an announcement. So we're proud of this, and we look forward to not only breaking ground, but obviously them opening in probably 18 to 24 months and getting this facility off the ground. Now we'll move to our community heroes, and these are people who help make things really for the better of our city and our state in particular, with our director from the Alabama Department of Archives, Steve Murray, and certainly entrepreneurs like Judd Blunt, who will be honored tonight. And so with that, I would like to welcome Montgomery Advertiser editor, executive page editor Paige Windsor, to introduce these heroes and maybe tell us a little bit more about them.
Good evening. As I often do, I want to thank South University for its sponsorship of the Community Hero Program. We profile a new hero every month in the Montgomery Advertiser. It's on the third Sunday, so don't miss it. Tonight, of course, we have two heroes to introduce. I'm going to jump ahead to Steve Murray. The Alabama Department of Archives and History was established in 1901. This isn't a book report, but I want you to know it was the first state archives in the nation. For the first several decades of its operation, it focused on preserving relics of the Confederacy, often turning a blind eye to history, to other eras and communities. That began to change under the tenure of former director Ed Bridges, who began making the shift to more inclusive exhibits, including more contributions of Black and Native Americans. Then came Mr. Steve Murray, who gained national attention in the summer of 2020 when he wrote about the archive's efforts to tell the more complete story of Alabama. Here's what he said. For well over a half century, the agency committed extensive resources to the acquisition of Confederate records and artifacts while declining to acquire and preserve materials documenting the lives and contributions of African Americans in Alabama. If history is to serve the present, it must offer an honest assessment of the past. Today, the Department of Archives, a place that belongs to all of Alabama's people, houses artifacts from the pre-colonial period through the Civil War and the Civil Rights era to modern times. For these contributions, Mr. Murray is the Montgomery Advertiser's Community Hero for August, an honor sponsored by South University.
Thank you, Paige, Mr. Mayor, and Mr. President, and council members. I'm so grateful for this, and this award is really a recognition of the work of an entire team of people at the Department of Archives and History, starting with our Board of Trustees, but including every member of our staff. We're grateful for the opportunity to be partners with the City of Montgomery and other government and nonprofit institutions here in our community that has become a destination for people all over the world who are coming here to better understand the history of our part of the country, of our state, and the amazing stories that we have to share. We also serve, importantly, the residents of this community and the people of the state of Alabama, and together we are using history to help our public become better reconciled with our past and to look forward to a better future together. So I'm grateful to the Montgomery Advertiser, and thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Congratulations.
But wait, there's more. So if you've ever dined at Vintage Year, Ravello, or any of the other sublime concepts Mr. Blunt has brought to Montgomery, you have experienced how invested he is in his hometown, its history, and its people. That's because Mr. Blunt doesn't use his hospitality group to simply feed people. He invests in restoring historic buildings, like the old drive-through bank building he and his uncle, Tom Blunt, converted into a neighborhood cafe in 2018, or the renovation they're undertaking with the downtown's historic Grove Court Apartments. It's a 1940 structure that's on the National Register of Historic Places. He chooses locations that draw people to areas where they can support other local businesses. It's the kind of investment that breathes new life and vibrancy into our city. For all of this, and maybe in small part for those crispy pork bellies with peaches and biscuits you can get at Vintage Year, Judd Blount is South University and the Montgomery Advertiser's Community Hero for July.
Thank you very much to the Montgomery Advertiser and to the mayor and city council. We're trying to change Montgomery through the hospitality industry. One day at a time. I've met people from all over the world on the Riverfront, on Commerce Street, and just being nice to them and letting them know that Montgomery is a great place with a lot of good people. Changes their opinion and brings them back. So I'd like to thank you.
I want to thank again our community heroes for all they do. The archives has become, I think, certainly under Dr. Bridges and now Steve Murray, Dr. Murray, much more active archives. It's one that not only those who are history buffs, but people who come to Alabama now, come to Montgomery in particular, are putting on their list of things to do. I think that's very important as we see so many worldwide tourists. Just 2 weeks ago, we hosted the ambassador from Germany and France, and we encouraged them to go by the archives as well. And I'm not sure if they had gone by before they came to visit us or after, but it was something that we encouraged them to do so they could learn a little bit more about Alabama and their consul generals who were there, stateside representatives here based out of Atlanta. And I certainly would like to say to Judge Blunt, we are grateful for his contributions to the hospitality space. As tourism continues to be a big driver for our revenue, that is more and more important. And I will just tell you, last night we had the entire corporate board of the Ford Foundation that was here. They actually had a program at the Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts, and the former CEO and chair of Xerox, as well as several others, all complimented how well the service and the food was at Ravello. And they were pleasantly surprised that out of their worldwide travels and things of that nature, that we had a restaurant here just as good as anywhere they've been in New York and California and anywhere else. So I think that's a testament to you as well as your team and your staff. So please pass that on. I tried to take a little credit in that, but it didn't go very far before I was shut down by somebody nearby. But nonetheless, we appreciate all the work you do, as well as we want to acknowledge Red Bluff bar that's also open in the old Sandbar, and the things you're helping us do with the amphitheater. So it's not just the hospitality space, but Judge Blunt is helping connect us with the amphitheater. That has been a constant question for many on the council, and he has gone a step further in even connecting us with those who have ties to Live Nation and the largest ticket and concert promoters in this country. So Judd is doing a lot more than even just his restaurants through the hospitality and entertainment space. So we really, really appreciate that. Now I get to two quick things and then I'll be done. Mr. President, I know we got a long agenda. The warming center is open. The first freeze of the season is coming up, so we want you all to share that on your social media, share that any way we can. The address is 3446 LeBron Road. So for anyone that's in need of a place to be in a warm space as the temperature starts to drop here in the fall, please let them know that the warming center is open tonight and will continue to be as temperatures drop below the temperatures that we've been seeing in the summer. So masks, cots, and warm blankets will be provided for anyone in need of shelter from those freezing temperatures. No photo identification is required. Montgomery EMA reminds residents to bring any prescribed medications needed, and pets are also welcome as long as they are kept in a carrier. Also, they're accepting donations of non-perishable food items and clothes, especially sizes extra small and through large, So that's sizes extra small through large. Finally, again, on a lighter note, Halloween is on October 31st, like every year, but we did receive a letter from some local kids that I thought we ought to read here to the council. It said, "Hi, we are Hope, Tony, Sam, Lena, Michael, Andrew, and Victoria. We have an idea to move trick-or-treat to Saturday before Halloween. Halloween is on Monday this year, and we would get to stay up later on Saturday night." Good reason to ask. "We talked to our teachers and principals, and they think that's a great idea as well. They say that we are all too crazy the day after Halloween. Our mom throws a big Halloween party every year, and it's a lot of fun. You can come if you want to." I was glad to get the invitation. "We hope you will think about our request. We are keeping our fingers crossed that you will move Halloween to Saturday." So, to Hope, Tony, Sam, Lena, Michael, Andrew, and Victoria, great try. I wish my kids had had the type of innovation and initiative that you had, but we cannot move Halloween because we don't want to confuse our residents about what's happening on Saturday and what's happening on Monday. However, we will suggest that you can still have your party and festivities on Saturday, and we'll ask your teachers to lower the homework load on Monday night. So I think that's a pretty good exchange. And I'm sorry to say that if you invite me, you also have to invite the entire city council. So if I'm invited, hopefully they can come as well. Thank you so much, Mr. President. I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, you got a question for the mayor? Mayor, we got a...
Mayor, I have a question. Actually, I got two questions. Not about what you talked about, so you may not need those notes, but you may need some notes. I have here Miss Duncan and I have Miss House. If you will come up for me, they have, you have even acknowledged them. They were the first minor league basketball team here in Montgomery, and we're very proud of the work they've done. You've given them accolades, and they had a relationship with the city of Montgomery for 5 years where they were practicing and having their home games right here in our city, and we appreciated that they brought in those visitors, those teams that came and their family. They have not been able to continue that relationship and partnership, and they really would like to. And I know, Mayor, you can make it happen for them. You can do it for them. You can get a partnership. And they were paying partners now. They weren't freeloaders either. And so we want to continue to have that type of relationship with them because we don't want to lose what they have here. They live here, they support here, they invite people to be a part of Montgomery and what we're doing here and what they bring to the community we would like to have. So she does have a list here, and I know Mr. Card has worked really hard on 1,000 projects, and I know he's sitting over there, but this one just seemed to be more than he can handle, if I could say it that way. And so we need some help, Mayor. I really hate to see them not being able to continue to have that partnership and offer to the young people what they offer, because there are young people that this is their escape, this is their place of pride, their place of showmanship, and it means a lot to those young men and young women, and so we would love to continue to have that going on in the city of Montgomery, so we need your help on that. However we can help them, they just need a facility. Again, they're not trying to just freeload. They're not just trying to say, just give me something. They're asking, let's have a partnership. There's always a place of negotiation, and they've been willing to talk about it and figure out what price works for the city of Montgomery and what price works for their organization so they can offer the services to the people that they serve as well, be a benefit to the city of Montgomery. So they need some help.
Where were you all playing?
We were playing at McIntyre Community Center.
Oh, we just fixed McIntyre. Okay. What and when did that start and stop?
It started back in June, July, and the season just ended in September. Okay. And it's starting again in November.
And how many years have you been playing at McIntyre?
We've only been playing at McIntyre for this year. We were playing at Lovely's prior to the pandemic.
Okay. Okay. Well, look, if you all will stick around, we'll certainly talk with our Parks and Recreation Director, David Card, and we'll figure something out.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, ladies. We appreciate you. And one more thing, Mayor. I got a notice from Miss Martin. I know we have a long agenda. I'm sorry, y'all. But I got a notice from Susan in Desmond Wilson's department about the meeting on Thursday at 1 p.m. about this critical repair and that HUD funding to help those citizens in the city of Montgomery who really need help. I'm just concerned that it's at 1 o'clock during the daytime. I know there's been times before that we've had those meetings after hours to make it convenient to get more people out. And I don't want people who need to be in the room to know how they need to apply, when they need to be, what they need to be aware of, things we look for, requirements of HUD, people who are, doing the program. All of those things they need to be aware of. So many people said they've missed it in the newspaper. Well, if they were at the meetings, then maybe they'll know what to be looking for in the newspaper. They can be more more aware. And I just think if we could offer this more than this one time and more than at 1 o'clock on a Thursday or weekday, I think we can get a bigger response from the community, because there are so many people. I got a call from a guy yesterday. His floor is caving in his house. I personally cannot go and fix his floor, but he needs the help of this city so bad. And we get those federal dollars just for programs like this, so we can help people who are in dire need. They have critical care. Some of them, their income won't allow them to even go and get a loan to try and fix in their home. They need the help of the city. I understand we can't help everybody, but it's some we can help. And based off the numbers I've seen, we got about $900,000 from this program that we just haven't been able to use, whether it's we don't have the contractors or whatever it is, we haven't been able to use that money, but there's so many people we can help. So I know there's another, Mr. Washington's over there, and his department is really over there, and whatever they've planned and they're doing. But Mayor, you can help them to expand that so we can really help the people in the city of Montgomery. They may not be as many of them in this room tonight that need that, but I get too many calls, and I'm quite sure there's other council members who get calls from people in their district. They need this money, and they need help in their houses, and they need it now. And so any way we can help them by providing another meeting to make sure we can get the community input, it will really go a long way. I know HUD have certain requirements when we got to have these meetings and when we got to be through with that, but if there's any way we can do that, it will help our people. Because I've been reaching out telling people some of them can't get off work, and they might need more than an hour to get in there if they get off for lunch. And so it's kind of hard for them to make this meeting, but I don't want them to miss out because it's really needed in the communities.
Well, I'll circle up with Darrell Washington, who's the Director of Economic Development, and we'll figure something out. We'll follow back up with you and the rest of the council.
Thank you.
Okay, fire department. Muscular Dystrophy, fill the boot. Y'all got, who's in charge of that? Chief?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chief.
We're here to present a check to the MDA. This is our first year back. The pandemic took us out for the 2 years. And so we want to get back in it this year. And so I'm representing the men and women of Montgomery Fire and Rescue. They went out and worked very hard. I definitely want to thank the mayor for allowing us to use our scheduled time to get out and do some good things for our community. And I definitely want to thank the citizens for cooperating with us and helping us out for getting to this point. So we have a 2-minute, Mike, 2-minute video that I think will give you a better impression of what we did and why we do it and what I can tell you. Roll it, Mike.
It's all about the life we live. It's all about the moments we share, how we care, how we give, stronger together along the way. It's all about the life we live today. We will fight when we need to, with truth we empower. We face down the moments that we did not choose. We lead with conviction, embracing each hour, and with every advancement, we shout out the news. It's all about the life we live. It's all about the moments we share, how we care, how we give, stronger together along the way. It's all about the life we live today.
Yeah, I'll take care of it. Thank you, we appreciate it. Thank you, man.
For everyone who donated to fuel the group, we have one celebrate to transform the lives of people with muscular dystrophy.
This year's donations will help thousands of families and fund research, care, and advocacy.
Together, we can transform lives through science and care, making them
with us again next year as the Muscular Dystrophy Association continues to
turn it over to Chief Bozeman. We started our boot campaign in 1998, and we're just shy of $1.8 million during that period of time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, City Council, Mayor. Thank you for allowing us to do what we do to help out the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Just like Chief Jordan said, we've been doing it now since 1998, and over $1.8 million has been raised for a good cause, and we can make a difference. So I'm here to introduce Ms. Holly Carroll. She is the Regional Director of Muscular Dystrophy Association and also the Firefighter Partnership Lead Liaison for our area.
Let's give everybody a round of applause, please. That was amazing. I just want to first of all say thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here. We're just so grateful for Montgomery Fire and Rescue for the many years that they've partnered with MDA, which we've already said like 3 times in 1988, which is outstanding. Over the $96,000 they raised this year is, I think that since the last 5 years, the top total that they've raised in over 5 years, which is awesome. I want to say, MDA's struggled for the last couple of years due to the pandemic. We weren't able to hold any of our booths across the country or in the state of Alabama for the last couple of years, and so we are very grateful to you to be able to come back and help us rebuild this program, rebuild it across the country, and rebuild it for the state of Alabama. Every year, Montgomery Fire and Rescue, the last several, probably more than, 15 years, #1 in the state of Alabama, and it's awesome. I am not able to present the Golden Axe Award, which I think we usually do every year, until 2022 is over, but a little whisper, I think they may get it again. Yeah, so, as you saw in that video, it's $1 at a time, and we've been doing that for over 68 years. We've partnered with firefighters across the country, and so it's our largest partner nationally and locally. So $670 million has been raised. And the money that's been raised, I want all of you to know, and even the firefighters, if you're not aware, that we have our summer camps. I'm going to introduce somebody in just a second that were able to come back, that were on a pause during the pandemic. We had a virtual, but now we got to bring summer camps back. I think we had 20 camps across the country. We're doing it in phases. We have our care centers, and then we have research. The dollars that you put in that boot is making a difference. We have 18 new drugs that have been approved by the FDA that are changing lives. So sons, daughters are able to hug their moms for the first time. They're able to brush their hair for the first time in some instances, and that's all because of the partners that we have and the firefighters that we have. So we're very grateful. I want to introduce you to Molly. She is one of our Alabama State ambassadors, and she's just going to tell you just briefly about what she kind of get to do this summer.
Hi, I'm Molly Preston, and I've been into MDA since 2017. I started off just going to the camps, but this is my 3rd or 4th time as the Alabama State Ambassador, and I'm going to tell you, we've done Fill the Boot, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the camps. I usually go to the one in Alabama, but this year we decided that I was going to go to the South Carolina one, not Georgia. And because I had a friend that I made in the Alabama one,
Yeah, she just was so glad that she was able to actually go to camp. She hadn't been able to do that for a couple of years. She did the virtual, and then she got to see some of her friends. So that's why she chose the Georgia camps to do together. So we're just grateful that she's with one of our ambassadors for the state and that she's able to be with us this evening. So thank you, Molly. And I know they're presenting us a check, but we also, maybe the Golden Axe will be good, but we are presenting a plaque for the department, as well as for Montgomery Fire and Rescue Engine 5 for being the top highest collector at $4,847.
I got mine with you.
All right.
Congratulations.
Hey, Molly, good job.
Congratulations. Ms. Johnson? Councillor Johnson?
They're gonna move that to, it's gonna go on our November 1st.
November 1st, that's
Yes,
correct.
Brenda, thank you.
Any special committee report? No committee? All right.
Glenn, did you wanna make, Mr. Pro Tem, Glenn, did you wanna make the announcement for?
Can we do, let's try it one more time, Ms. Brenda, for that first meeting in November. The ad hoc committee that we just canceled.
I sent out the notice the day you canceled it because you said you wanted to cancel it and schedule it for November the 1st. So the notice
It's
set
gone.
it for November the 1st at the same time. So
I knew
that's
that, I
what
was just seeing if you knew it.
Ms. Pruitt, is that the public safety?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. Good thing, Ms. Blaine. Thank you.
Okay. Madam Clerk, first item?
The first item, I think Councillor Jenright wanted that one withdrawn.
Okay.
I-
And item number 2, we're going to carry over for 30 days.
Yes, that'll be the last meeting in November.
Okay.
Item number 3, ordinance authorizing purchase, sale agreement, and sale of real estate for economic development at 102 May Street to C. Allen Ward Jr.
Okay. Representatives for item number 3, please come forward. Go to city, sir.
Yes, hello,
All right,
this
any,
is,
any questions for Lois? I think we talked about it in the work session.
We're good, Lois.
All right. Need a motion?
Mr. President, Mr. Pro Tem, motion to approve. Well, suspend the rules. Motion to suspend the rules.
I have a motion to suspend the rule. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
And motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Ordinance is adopted. Item 4, resolution authorizing an agreement with Aldot for Riverfront Greenway Trail expansion.
All right, Mr. Smith, come to talk. Ms. Graham, you got your question answered on that item? You good? Yes, ma'am. All right.
All right, yes, this is a practice agreement between the City of Montgomery and the Alabama Department of Transportation for a transportation alternative project, which was approved by the NPO at the September meeting. And this is for the Riverfront Greenway Trail extension that will go from the new pedestrian bridge over the Cypress Inlet right there at the Alabama River to Lafayette Street, and this is in the amount of $375,755, with $300,604 federal, 80%, and $75,151 for City of Montgomery match.
All right, any more questions? Ms. Smith, need a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
And motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 5, show cause hearing on the proposed revocation of the business license of the B Luxury Event Studio at 7920 Atlanta Highway.
All right, Mr. Graham, we have Mr. George Howard. If you're in the audience, please come forward. You want to speak on item number 5?
CC, first, we got a video from the neighborhood.
Okay.
Maybe we can. Mike, can you hit the video?
Is this Mr. Howell?
This is
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Howell.
Okay.
I'm George Howell, the treasurer of the Somerset Homeowners Association. What you are seeing here are our traffic cameras at our gatehouse. And this is about 10 o'clock at night on the night of September 24th. These people are running from gunshots in the parking lot of Looking Good on the Atlanta Highway. And these films were made by our cameras. There's no sound because these cameras exist mainly to look at tag numbers on people going in and out of Somerset and to look at people in cars.
Now cars are coming to our gate and people are still running past, away from the gunshots, and they're backing up, and I'm not sure, but you can see what's happening. And then the cars start forward, and then more people run by. I think these cars finally got in. So this is one video we have on our entrance gate. We have two more.
That's good. What's that? Go ahead and hit the other mic.
Okay, this is our second video, and you can see there's a crowd of people in the parking lot who had come to this place. The event center is to your right in the dark over there, and these people were not invited. They were just out in the parking lot, and they started moving about when they heard the shots. People in our neighborhood heard the shots, and they're just running across the street on Somerset Drive. This is a public street. And they continue to do that. At the same time, there were other people who ran behind the building to get away from the gunfire, and they jumped over a 4-foot fence behind a hedge to get away from the gunshots. They jumped over the fence and they ran through people's yards that live on Wexford Trace and Wexford Way in Somerset. And some of our people have doorbell video of that, but we didn't feel the need to show that. And there's one other video that shows two people painting graffiti on a public street for some reason, and that happened. Mike, yeah, show the third one. There you go. This guy is painting something on the street. I could tell you what the letters said if anybody wants to know. And then there was another word painted next to it that didn't make sense to me. And since then, we've had this painted over. The city's painted this over. But I don't know the purpose of painting graffiti on a city street at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night. Somerset is a quiet neighborhood. We have 260 homes there. People there, most of us are retired. We don't need this outside our neighborhood. We don't need people who just happen to congregate in a parking lot to be running through our streets. And we feel, well, we don't know for sure, but they may have had some connection to the event taking place, but they were not invited guests. And that's why we would like to see this establishment, this event center, shut down. Perhaps she could move to another place. But that is designed to be a retail center at Looking Good. There's been other retail shops there before. Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Pro Tem, I have one question. What was the letters that you saw? This right here. What were the letters that you saw with the graffiti on the ground?
BMF.
Thank you.
And the other one, I could not understand. It was written. You want to know that one?
That's enough. Thank you.
That's enough? Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Thanks, George.
Mr. Grant, you got anything else?
Well,
I am.
go ahead. You got another?
All right, this is a show cause hearing, so I would like to call Ms. Kenyatta Bowling on up, the owners of the business will come forward.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Give your name for the record, sir.
Oh, I'm Kenyatta Bowling. I'm the owner of the B Luxury Event Studio. Well, what I want to say is what happened on the night in question, from our perspective, what happened. We did the event for a friend of mine. It was his daughter's sweet 16 birthday party. Okay, me and my wife, we have a son that plays junior college football. We went to his game that day. That night we came back and we said, well, hey, we want to see how everything going. This is the first event. So we get there and it was a lot of people that was there. So we addressed the person that had the party, his mom, well, her mom, and we addressed her. We told her, said, hey, where's your security? And these people can't be out here. She said, well, he hadn't showed up yet, but it was a state trooper. So the guy got there while we were there. Everybody, he was escorting everybody off of the premises that wasn't in the building. We walked in, we told her, said, hey, you can only have 99 people in here because we don't have the sprinkler system, so that's all you can have. So she counted them up, that's what happened. State trooper out there saying he was getting everything under control. We left and we went home. Okay, I would say, I don't know, there was probably about what, 9:30 or something like that. I would say about an hour or so later, we do get a call from another lady who has an event center and said, hey, it's packed out here. I said, out where? She said, out in front of your building. You probably need to go get these people from up there. So when we get there, we call the police and we tell them, look, we need these people out of the parking lot. Someone came up, escorted the people out. We stayed there until everybody was gone. Now, we go in the building, we talk to, like I said, the kid's mom. The dad, when my friend wasn't there, we talked to her. She was getting everybody out and everything like that. We were telling everybody they have to leave. Now, when it comes to a gunshot or whatever, I don't understand how it was a gunshot and everybody, a lot of people were still just standing out there congregating. Now, we did, like I said, we did tell them that they didn't supposed to be out there. She said what happened was she put it on social media, which she shouldn't have, and a lot of people just came that she didn't even know. So we had rules in place that wasn't supposed to happen. So as far as, like I said, a gunshot, they said there wasn't no gunshots. Now, inside of the building, what happened, if we had some numbers, like for her 16, if you knock those numbers down, they're plugged up, it, boom, it made a sound. So people ran out from the place and they started running out. Now, we took pictures of the numbers that were bust, because all the bulbs were bust out and people ran because they assumed there was a gunshot, because I guess if you hit a bulb, it's gonna make that sound. So, but there were never a gunshot inside, there were never a gunshot outside, as far as we know. But that was the sound they said they heard on the inside and people ran. But if you go check inside, that what happened. And the mom was there to say, okay, they knocked over the number, they saw the flash from the bulb burst. So, like I said, that was our first event. Like I said, kids spray paint, I don't know about all that. I apologize if that was due to anything that happened as far as ours, but we did put more rules in place. We put more policies. We put cameras inside of the building to show anything that's going on inside, so things like this won't happen. But like I said, we're the one who called the police. We're the one that came and got everything shut down and got everything under control.
All right, Mr. Bolton, you have something you want to share with us? Major Rucker?
Yes, prior to our unit getting there, we did receive a code 7 call, which is a gunshots fired call prior to getting the phone call from the business. And when the video surfaced, you can actually see, I know another portion of the video, you can actually see people running from behind the building like they showed into people's yards. So we actually did get a couple of shots fired calls prior to their phone call.
Mr. Boland, my problem is that you're running the business and it appears that you just turned it over for somebody else to run. I realize your son had a football game, I got that. But when you were there, when they were out in the parking lot, you got to be there. I mean, unfortunately, this is right on the neighborhood. So if their crowd's over and somebody shoots a gun, that's your first event. I mean, these poor people, they're running through their backyard. The lady in the second row back there has video, people running through their backyard, running beside the house. We just can't have that. I mean, I feel bad for you. I know you put a lot into it, but I don't see how we continue. The first shot out of the gate, and we got people running all over the place. And spray painting the street, I don't understand it.
Now, we can't say the spray paint came from somebody that we.
Hold on. You done, Ms. Grimes?
I'm done.
Excuse me, Mr. Grimes.
Anyone else on the council have anything, comments? Okay. Ms. Johnson? Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, Mr. Grimes. Number one, I want to tell you all thank you for giving us this opportunity. And number two, I believe in spiritual warfare. I know this ain't a church or nothing like that, but we came out the gate trying to do everything right. We've been doing everything right. We have had events since this incident happened. We've had several events since then, and we've been doing everything we know to do to keep this from happening. That's why we done got security rules in place. We've gotten cameras. I talked to one of the neighbors. She called the other night, Miss Daniels, and I told her, she was like, well, the sound is coming. I can hear the sound or whatever. And we thought y'all supposed to be closed at 10. I said, no, ma'am, we supposed to be finished by 12. I said, but what we will do is try to get soundproof for the walls, because we've invested almost everything we had to start this business, and we've been doing everything by the book. They told us we had to get everything that you all asked us to do to be a business. We did that. Now, as far as these kids and people come that are not invited, I don't feel that it's fair to us. We can't control other people. All we can do is put the rules in place. If something were to happen, dial 911, and that is exactly what we did. And to the community, the Somerset community, I apologize, on behalf of the kids that came. But as far as our business being a threat to that neighborhood, I don't see how that is, because it was an event center there prior to us. Stuff happened. We had no control. I mean, incident happened at Walmart parking lot, and we still go there and shop. So I don't feel like it's fair to shut us down on one incident when we done had several other events since then. And I'm pleading with y'all not to shut us down, because we've put everything we've had into this. We don't have the funds to just jump up and find something else.
Right.
And I'm pleading with you.
Any
all.
other comments from the council?
I do, Mr. Pro Tem. I got a couple of questions.
Ms. Johnson?
I know you stated that, Mr. Boland, Ms. Boland, you stated that you've had a couple of events after. Can you tell us how many since that incident? Just.
I would say, 4 there, but of course we decorate other places as well. But as far as in that building, I would say about 4 or 5 events.
4 in that facility, and no complaints since then?
No.
Pictures, you stated you had pictures of those letters or numbers that dropped. We'd like copies of those if you could get our email addresses or Ms. Blaylock's so you can send that to us. I know I would. I'm sure everyone else would, but I know I would. Contracts. I know you said that was a friend of yours,
Yes.
child, so did you not do a contract with them?
Well, what we did, but at the same time, we stated that you would have to have security. You only can.
Let me see. Excuse me. If I kind of handle all the bookings. He really don't know. He just give me the money. I'm sorry. But what it was his friend. We knew her. She was family. We've been knowing her since she was a little girl, and we should have put a tighter contract in place. Since then, we partnered with Mr. Alvin Tucker at the Tucker Center because we're church members.
Okay.
He's a deacon. I'm a minister at Fresh Anointing.
Okay.
So, we trying to do things the right way. Alvin said, well, okay, in my venue, this is how I do it. I don't have a problem. So since then, we've adopted some of the same things, not exactly verbatim to how he has his, but what he has works. Mm-hmm. So now it's a lot of things that we wasn't aware of because we're new and we don't know that we have in place that we probably should have had, but we didn't.
Okay. So they've acknowledged that piece.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes, ma'am.
I think we need to point out too, for children, they need to be getting a juvenile permit for anybody that's underage, and even though they're
That's
an
in the
event
contract
center,
also.
Okay.
that is a different form, yeah. So they need to be doing that.
Thank you, Ms. Blaylock. And I know you mentioned, this is not for you all. Thank you for answering my questions. For the Somerset treasurer, you mentioned the letters BMF, and I just want to publicly state that myself, Councillor Mitchell, and Mr. Pruitt have been working. We're going to have a meeting about just youth violence, and it sounds like marking. We can't say that they were in control of that, but it's something that we need to get control of. And I know you made a statement that they need to go somewhere else. I heard that, and I just want to publicly state that we don't want that anywhere in the city of Montgomery, not just by Somerset, anywhere. So I just wanted that to be publicly stated, that it's just not a particular area we don't want that. We don't want it anywhere. But that's it. That's all I have.
All right, anyone else?
Mr. Calhoun.
Mr. Pruitt?
Quick question. Major Rucker, have we had any more calls for service that you're aware of since?
I think after that incident, the only thing we have recorded, it might have been a large crowd gathering, that was it.
Okay.
So, I know,
Well, George, you got anything else?
You got something?
Yes.
I forgot to say this, but I brought, people from Somerset wanted to be here for this. Would everybody from Somerset please stand up? And some of these people called the police also. I just wanted to say that. We are concerned about this, and we would like for it to be somewhere else. That's all. Thank you very much.
From the council, and then we're going to close this hearing. Mr. Pruitt?
One more thing, Rondé, and I'm done.
You, Rondé.
And, you know, Mr. Mitchell, you have been saying this for the longest time, that we've had too many event centers. People have found ways to get around our quote liquor license and that sort of thing. And I'm just going to be honest, the Bolins are probably good people, but this is part of the council's fault, I think. We put this event center in a neighborhood, and it's the wrong spot. And I think it's partly our fault for doing it. You know, we're all complaining about too many of them, but yet we go put one. And it was probably an accident what happened that night, but we went and put an event center in the front of a neighborhood. Walmart's not in the front of somebody's neighborhood, Chantilly and Main Street and all that. And it's, you know, that's just my 2 cents.
Mr. Mitchell?
Mr. President, quick question for you. I know we've been having a lot of issues with big gatherings. So my question is, how much responsibility do the owners that really don't own that parking lot, because they're leasing, how much of that responsibility goes on the owner of the property, and how much do the police help for those large gatherings? Because I've been getting so many calls, not only about their establishment, but every establishment have these large gatherings when they open. So I'm just wanting to see what was your take, because I get calls every day about the rack room, about the kitchen, and those places are sometimes not even open when we have those large gatherings. I just want to know your take on it when it comes to the person that's leasing and the person that actually owns the property.
Well, in regards to that, you mentioned the kitchen and you mentioned the rec room, which we actually patrol that every weekend, and we have those issues when they're open. You also have to take into consideration these events that they're having at these places. Because of these events, that's what's drawing that crowd there. If you don't have the event, then chances are the crowd won't be there.
But Major Rucker, should not some of that responsibility fall on the owners? I hear you saying.
Well, that's correct. We also a lot of times we've also contacted the shopping center owners where these places are located. The security itself is up to the businesses, and it should be up to the shopping center owners as well.
Because just my 2 cents is, I don't think we should be giving any private citizens extra patrol if they're being responsible owners of the parking lot.
But however, when you get responses and you get calls there,
you have to respond.
You have to respond, and you have to keep an eye on it, and you have to keep a watch for it.
All right.
okay.
All right, Ms. Graham, go.
So, Somerset, I absolutely feel you, and I understand. Everybody has the right to live at peace in your home, and we're not moving. You know, those are our houses we purchased, so we plan to stay there. Balling, let me make sure I say your name right, Mr. Kenyatta Balling.
Yes.
I hear you and your wife saying you put everything you got in that business. You don't have nothing else. You know, if that don't work, then you have to start over from zero. And that's unfair because you trusted a friend to do a little better, and they didn't do what they needed to do. I know, Ed, that, you know, we want a resolution tonight, but I asked if we can sit at the table before we just close it off. Can we try that? Can we try to build a partnership, a relationship between this community and these property business owners that says, I got your number. If I have to call you, there's a problem, but then we're gonna bring you back before council, and I mean, can we do it in like a month or something?
George,
just see what, I mean, are y'all not willing at all to at least give them a chance? They said they did get some security, and that's one thing we want to say. Your security, I don't care who rented it out. You need to make sure your parking lot is manned. They need to be your responsibility, not whoever you're renting it to, because your community, they're going to have a problem when your parking lot become their problem. And so you don't want to be back down here before us with that. So you want to make sure you nip that in the bud. And that's a learn as you go thing. You didn't know that you was going to have it. That's not something you was aware of. So, but now you know. But they had to pay the cost for you knowing it. And we don't want them to have to pay the cost again for you to learn something else in their community, right? So, I mean, I don't know. It's still Ed's community.
Well,
and so.
I know they did it, and I had concerns that you guys weren't there and didn't have security and were relying on someone else to get it. The state trooper didn't show up. I mean, and Audrey's right. You guys have got to be there. Because if you rent it out to me and I don't have security and they get out of hand, they run through the neighborhood, you're out of business. So then that's the problem. You have to do that. That has to be a part of your deal. You have to get it. If I got something, you got to go ahead and hire the security. If you don't get security, you got to be closed. Now, these people, I understand. You know, they're in their house and people running through the neighborhoods and paint streets. There ain't nothing cool about that. That doesn't need to happen anywhere in town.
That's right.
Now, if they're willing to work with you and talk with you, I'm okay. We'll give it a shot. But if they're not, I'm not. That's just a plain simple. This is their homes, and I agree with Audrey. As he said, we've already had another crowd out there, which is a large crowd in the parking lot, right?
Yes, sir.
So we've already had it again.
Excuse me, when was this?
I think myself and Councilman Grimes had discussed it. It was probably about a week or two after the original incident, if I recall correctly.
I mean, can you get a specific date?
Was it any incident, or it was just too many people in the parking lot?
No, it was just a call about people in the parking lot. There
And
was
when
no
you got there,
endorsement.
you said large crowd. We talking about 20, we talking about 100.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look back at it.
That's where the problem starts, in the parking lot.
Yeah, you know, that need to be a deal. If you're not in the facility, you have to leave. You can't congregate, not when an event is going on. Now, if an event is not going on there and somebody, because it's a shopping center, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
there are other businesses there. So if it's another business and something they doing, I mean, you can't help that. You're not there. Your building's closed. That doesn't impact you. But if your business is open, and and again, it's, I hate to see you not have your business open. Listen, that's what we want to do. This is the, capital of dreams. I know you're trying to get in here,
Yeah,
CC,
I'm
and we
trying
want to, and we want people to start businesses. We want small businesses to come up. We look for entrepreneurs to step out, but we also want our homeowners there. We also want people to feel safe in their home. We want them to want you a part of their community. And right now, they really probably don't want you a part, but we've got to try to get over this hurdle if we can. But that means there's got to be an open communication between. I mean, you need their number, and they need your number. That type of open communication. So if they got any issue going on, they can call. But they got his number first. Now, I know they're going to call and blow him up. And keep his number. Keep him on speed dial. He's the right one to call. Y'all got Ed's number.
How many of y'all want to give him another chance?
Hey, let me say this.
Are y'all willing
Anybody?
to give him another chance?
How many of y'all want to give him another chance? Raise your hand.
Willing to give them another chance? Nobody.
Nobody. I mean, I understand. I mean, my right to live in peace in my home overrides the interest of a business making money.
I have one question. Ms. Blaylock, you don't have the record. When did we open up this establishment? What was the date?
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
About 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
September. All right, I'm going to say this before, and then I'm going to close this hearing, and we'll go to item number 6. The big thing, Mr. Boland, is about, man, it's a business. And you got to be willing to run your business. You can't, where business begins, friendship ends. So, I know you took a risk out there with your friend to do some things, but it's your livelihood that's on the line. So you can't put your livelihood on the line with a friend and you get these kind of results, because at the end of the day, you lease that property and it belongs to you. So you ultimately responsible. One of the hottest night spots in Montgomery closed with the incident that happened because she leased it to someone else. But everything was in that person's name that leased that building. So it's a tough situation. So with that being said, I'll close the hearing, and Ms. Blaylock will go to item 6.
Resolution revoking the business license of the B Luxury Event Studio at 7920 Atlanta Highway.
All right, there's a resolution on the table. Needs a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Ms. Graham, is your hand down? 7. You're voting. Did you suspend the rules? Ms. Graham, did you suspend the rules?
All right, you got to count. 8.
Unanimous.
All right, need a motion to adopt the resolution on number 6.
Motion to adopt the resolution.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Five.
All opposed, please, same sign.
Three.
All right,
The resolution to deny carries.
all right, thank you. Next item.
Item 7, resolution revoking the business license for failure to pay sales tax and authorizing a show cause hearing for Capital Mexican Restaurant at 6132 Atlanta Highway.
Hold up for a second, Ms. Blaylock.
See? No. They said it was a hookah bar. What's that? Hookah bar. It was a hookah bar. Hey.
All right, Ms. Blaylock, number 7, please.
Resolution revoking the business license for failure to pay sales tax and authorizing a show cause hearing for Caparel Mexican Restaurant, 6132 Atlanta Highway.
All right, representative from the Capital Mexican Restaurant.
No,
Please
sir.
come. They're not here?
No, we just adopt this one and then we'll set a show cause hearing.
Okay.
So,
Need a motion to suspend the rules?
yes, sir.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to approve.
All in favor, please raise your hand. We're going on now. Y'all.
Ms.
We
Graham.
started something today.
Ms. Graham, are you voting?
Item number 7.
7. Okay. I'm getting mixed hands.
Hey, please hold your hands up, please. Item number 7.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 8, resolution revoking the business license for failure to pay sales tax and authorizing a show cause hearing for Go Bananas Selfies Museum at 3442 East L Circle.
Need a motion to suspend the rules?
Anybody here?
Move to suspend the rules.
Well, anybody here for Banana Museum? No, I don't think they're here.
No, sir.
All right. Have a motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Need a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 9, application for a rental hall event center doing business as JDB Hospitality Venue 901 at
Ashley,
901
you
South
see
Pole
what they
Street.
just did to that man?
Ms. Graham? This is a public hearing. Would the representative for item number 9 please come forward?
This is not a public hearing. You just
Oh,
hear the applicant.
application
Yes,
first.
sir.
Okay.
It's a rental hall.
Oh, yeah, rental hall. Would the owners or item number 9 please come forward?
Do you have a relationship with the community around you?
Yes,
Good.
I did. Yeah, I met with everybody.
Tell them how
But
you plan
actually,
your
all the
life.
buildings are empty around me.
Oh, good.
Every building around me is actually
This
vacant.
year, Marsha?
right.
It's now closed. It was.
You kicked them
I
out.
don't have any further questions.
All right.
Actually, I do. Sorry, 2 questions. The fire code. What's your number on your fire code?
It's supposed to be 80.
80.
Yes.
Okay.
And parking, have y'all had any trouble with parking or anything?
Then our neighbors agreed for let us use their parking
Great,
lot.
great, okay. Yeah, so I'm
All
good.
right, need a motion to suspend the rules?
Motion to suspend the rules?
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Motion to adopt?
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Good luck with your
No,
business.
wait a minute.
I'm gonna abstain from any further rail haul.
Yeah, Miss,
Y'all go.
Okay, so you're abstaining.
From now on, I'm out.
All right, we got you. But-
It's going to be 7 and 1.
Thank you.
The resolution carries.
Mr. Pro Tem.
Thank you.
Good luck with your business. Yes, sir.
Mr. Pro Tem, and I guess it falls back on the council. If we want to put in an ordinance that stipulate how far they need to be from, because we gonna run into the same thing. And we've been doing this rental hall for the last 2 years. If we saying that we have too many, we need to do a moratorium on it. If we're saying they're too close to a neighborhood, but we need to have some definition, because now we're saying that they were too close to a neighborhood, and that's not fair. They need to go in knowing that we have an ordinance, or we have something in place that's saying that you cannot be 200 feet from such and such, or 500 feet from this. It's not fair that we get them down here after they have got their business to say that they can't be next to a neighborhood.
All right.
Hmm?
I agree. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
Item number 10,
Look at it.
application for a restaurant retail liquor license
I do
doing
too.
business is Mong Chong, 2801 Von Plaza Road, Suite T.
All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone from item number 10 would like to speak in favor of this item, please come forward. Item number 10. Your name for the record, sir?
My name is Song Chen. Apply for the application for the liquor license for the Mongchon restaurant.
All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone would like to oppose this item, please come forward. Seeing none, I declare the public hearing is held. It's properly before the council. Mr. Pruitt,
Move to suspend rules.
all in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck with your business, sir.
Thank you.
Item 11, application for a lounge retail liquor Class 1 license doing business as Top Notch Lounge and Entertainment, 3585 Mcgee Road.
All right, owners of Top Notch Lounge, please come forward. Your name for the record, sir?
Derek Vincent.
All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone like to oppose this item, please come forward. Seeing none, I declare the public hearing has been held. It's proper before the council. Need a motion? Take
Move
that
to suspend
motion.
rules.
Got a motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is
Good luck with
adopted.
your business, sir.
Item 12, application for a lounge retail liquor Class 2 package store doing business as Rusty Barrel at 845 Taylor Road.
You don't have no file with it. Yes, please come forward.
He got one a while back.
My name is Kunal Tank. I'm the owner of the place, Rusty Barrel, like applicant.
All right, I declare this a public hearing. Anyone like to oppose this item, please come forward. Seeing none, I declare the public hearing has been held. It's proper before the council. Need a motion?
Move to suspend rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Good luck with your
Resolution
business,
is
sir.
adopted. Item 13, application for a lounge retail liquor Class 2 package license doing business as DK Liquor at 2481 Lower Wetumpka Road.
We've been waiting for them.
Sir, your name for the record?
Patel.
All right. I declare this a public hearing. Anyone like to oppose this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare the public hearing is held. It's proper before the council. Ms. Johnson.
One moment, Mr. Pro Tem, before I ask for you all to vote, I've contacted you a couple of times and I didn't get a call back. The building is still boarded up. Were you waiting to get your, what's happening? Because I haven't seen any progress. I pass it every day.
Yeah, because I'm waiting for the city to approve the license so I can start working on the building, you know?
Okay, so you got some, you have some plans and stuff already in place?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to see those plans.
Okay.
Okay, so don't leave out of here without giving me a good number.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna carry it over so I can see those plans because we didn't talk.
Okay, that's
Okay?
fine. That's fine.
All right.
All right. Item 13 has been carried over for 2 weeks.
We're gonna carry it over just, the next council meeting, Ms. Blaylock.
Did you close your hearing?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay. Item 14, application for a lounge retail liquor class 2 license doing business as Fairground Package at 2544 Fairground Road.
Item number
They
14.
gonna saturate me with liquor stores.
All right.
Okay.
Hold on.
I'm sorry, Mr. President.
All right, this is the public hearing. Anyone like to oppose this item, number 14, please come forward. Seeing none, declare it proper before the council.
I need their names, Mr. Pro Tem.
Your name for the record, sir. Your name?
She have.
You got it.
You got it. Hi, gentlemen.
Hey, honey.
Contacted you all as well. Only thing is, Ms. Blaylock, was this the one by the daycare? We had one of them on Fairground that was near the daycare, about 250 feet.
I don't have my file open. You need.
Are
me
you
to
on the
open-
corner or further
Yeah,
down?
it's the people gas station.
You on the corner? Okay, so you doing a renewal?
We
You
just
already
like
had
transfer,
one?
you know,
Okay, you're on the corner. Only thing I asked y'all, because I know I was calling, I was like, if y'all want to get this liquor license, I need y'all to clean that parking lot up. Get them
Yeah, we're
potholes
gonna
cleaned
get
up.
straight, you know,
All right,
just
patch
get
them
the license.
potholes. Other than that, I'm good.
Yeah.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
All right, y'all get my
Unanimous.
telephone number.
Resolution
If
is
you wanna see
adopted.
All right, good luck with your business, sir. Thank you.
Item 15, application for retail beer off premises only, doing business as Pure Food Mart at 2540 Fairground Road.
All right, owners of Pure Food Market, please come. That's you
It's
too.
same people.
All right.
it. Okay.
You need the name again?
No, sir.
All right. Declare this a public hearing. Anyone like to oppose this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare the public hearing is over. It's been held and is proper before the council. Ms. Johnson,
Motion to suspend the rules.
all in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Good luck with your business.
All right, thank you.
Okay. One of y'all come up here, please. One of y'all come up here, please.
Can I keep moving?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Ms. Blaylock.
I'm gonna call
Item
y'all.
16, application for retail beer and retail table wine off premises only, doing business as Family Dollar Store at 5771 Kaiser Court.
All right, Representative for Dollar General.
Dan Weigel on behalf of Family Dollar.
Did you get it, Ms. Blaylock?
No, sir, I did not.
Dan Weigel.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. This is the public hearing. Anyone like to oppose item number 16, please come forward. Seeing none, declare the public hearing has been held. It's proper before the council.
Motion to suspend the rules?
Hold on one second before we spin the rule. Do you represent Family Dollars in a good group of them in Montgomery, or is just this particular one?
Oh, so we handle, my firm handles the alcohol licensing for Family Dollar across the country. So
And that's how you handle, are there alcohol licensing? Is that the only interaction you have with Family Dollar?
yes. So they came to our firm when they were kind of rolling it out. So we just have a consistent team that handles all their licenses across the country.
So I want, I'm gonna let you do what you do, Councillor Mitchell, but I need you to relate to your clients. They got to keep their business clean.
Yeah.
Family Dollars have a lot of trash around their businesses. Their grasses are overgrown. The hedges look horrible. We appreciate their services in our communities, but it looks so bad. I'd rather go somewhere else sometimes to shop. So.
Absolutely. And
Okay.
I know that has been an issue with these stores. So we will certainly, I already have the contact information for the person I need to reach out to for that. So I will certainly let them know about that, because I know I've been here for these alcohol licensing hearings before, and that concern has been raised. So it's certainly something we will work with them on addressing.
All right, Ms. Mitchell.
Motion to suspend the rules?
I have a motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
I ain't raised my hand, Ms. Blaylock. No.
Turn your mic off.
I'm gonna start making y'all hold them up like this in a way. Unanimous.
Mr. Calhoun,
Mr. Pruitt?
before we vote, Ms. Graham, would you like somebody to contact you from Family Dollar?
Yes, I would. You got my number? 334?
I think I may have it from our,
I do. I have a card. I can give you a card right
yeah,
here.
that'd be perfect.
All right, Mr. Mitchell,
Motion to adopt?
all in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck with your business.
Item 17, application for retail beer and retail table wine off premises only, doing business as Family Dollar Store at 3212 Mobile Highway.
All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone like to oppose item number 17, please come forward. Seeing none, I declare it proper before the council. Need a motion to suspend the rules?
Maybe we need, I don't. Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck with your business, sir.
Item 18.
Tell them to call me.
Application for a special events retail liquor license, doing business as Bollywood Beats Concert at 300 Water Street.
Hello.
All right, your name for the record, sir?
Rajiv Sharma.
All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone like to oppose item number 18, please come forward. Seeing none, declares public hearing is closed and is proper before the council. Need a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 19.
Good luck with your business, sir.
Thank you.
Reuben C. Brown, 3910 Birmingham Highway, regarding removal of 40 vehicles and trailers.
How y'all doing?
No.
How you doing, sir?
All right, how y'all doing?
All right. What's this?
Go ahead. You have an appeal. You want to talk to us about number
yes,
19?
sir. I talked to the chief inspector about this already, and he didn't give me even an opportunity to prove that I own the property. But as an owner, I was never notified at all in any kind of way. As owner of all the vehicles that were there, I was never notified about it. I feel like it wasn't fair to me not to be notified to fix whatever issue was that they had.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the tail end of it, and I'm losing over $250,000 worth of property for. I mean, I had no control of what's going on without being notified.
Okay. You want to say something before I
do.
Go ahead, Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown,
Yes, ma'am.
you hadn't paid taxes on that property in about 3 or 4 years. Is that correct?
No, ma'am, just
You
one,
haven't?
just 1 year.
Just 1
It
year?
just went up for sale in June this year.
Okay, and someone purchased it in June. Is that right?
Yeah, they brought the property tax lien.
Okay, and I think that's who the city may have notified. Like, they don't go through and notify all of the previous owners. They just notify whoever paid the, and so that owner did get that notice, and they didn't do anything. They didn't come down and try to stop the city from doing that. And so I appreciate you coming down before us today, but they did follow, Mr. Tate was very adamant about they followed all city ordinance and protocol with this piece of property. And they have the data, and if we need to get it together that you want to look at it, I think they can make it available for, can you make it available for him to see if he wanted to see that notice and all of that stuff that went out on this piece of property, Mr. Tate? I think they could provide that to you,
Okay,
but I'm not sure. Let me make sure now. I might be speaking out of turn.
Well, I also brought something from the county that's showing that Mr. Tate should have did something different than what he did. I got it here if you want to see it.
All right.
The county don't govern Mr. Tate. Mr. Tate governed by that man sitting right there.
Well, we're talking about the ownership and what they viewed when they looked up the property. It says here specifically there was a tax sale and they need to contact them about the proper owner. I mean, it's on all the websites and there's no, I mean, everybody gets to see this. And it's also a disclaimer to the side letting them know that stuff on this form or on the site are not 100%.
Well, I'm not really sure how we go about finding our information, but I do know we have a great partnership with the county, with the Janet Buskis office, so that we can keep up with property owners. In that way, when we do these, we are thorough now on that. and I'm speaking for you, Mr. Tate, I'm just saying that, but I believe that you are, every time I talk, which is very thorough in what you do. And so I believe that there was an investigation done, and they determined that whomever had purchased that property back in June, in August, they owned it. They were the...
No, ma'am.
They were responsible. They were the ones that was paying the tax, because we put the lien against the property tax. And so they had to be the one that paid this fee. If we go out and do it, it's going to be a fee assessed to them. So they're going to have to pay it. And so we wanted to make sure they was going to have to pay for us to do that. Am I right?
So I'm here to say this in response to this whole setup. He can file a request for public records, and we'll turn over everything that we have to him.
If you
There's
want
a
that.
process. If you want them, fine. If you don't, fine. But
I understand. What did you say, sir? I'm sorry.
the documents that would be helpful to help clarify this for you may be obtained through a public records request.
Public records request?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that'll be the records department right up under the probate office in Montgomery, downtown?
It's in the city clerk's office.
The lady to your right may be able to help you, Ms. Blake.
In the city clerk's office, yes, sir.
Well, I already went and got a deed from that office, from the records department. I'm the only one that holds a deed to the property. No one else. It's not been deeded over. And then I got the section 12-132 that you guys have for the notice of public hearing and approving abatement of access costs. And it reads that the occupant, which is me, my gate was locked and I occupied it, never had this problem all these years. I've been in business 25 years in this city. And it says occupant, which is me, and owner, which is me, not the tax lien holder, which I went to Ms. Buskey's office, like you mentioned, and Ms. Buskey's office showed me that when they do look it up, they can tell that there's a tax lien on it because it's in big and red when they look it up. It ain't but one site. So it's a misunderstanding. I'm not blaming anybody, but I should have been notified, especially with that amount of property being moved from my property. Because even if I go and pay the fees to get it back, it's still going back to my property, which kind of don't make no sense.
What was that, Mr. Lyon?
The kitchen?
Big kitchen.
Big kitchen.
Big kitchen.
Big kitchen, yes.
Is that your business?
No, ma'am.
So that's who we notified, was big kitchen?
I don't want to sound sarcastic, but we're at a different place now with
Right.
this whole situation. And that's why I like to leave it as far as where we are at this place. All of this could have been dealt with in a different venue at the proper time in the process. Right now, we're beyond that point in the process. And I'd like to stop right here as far as what I'm going to say.
Thank you, Mr. Tate. All right, Mr. Brown, I mean, basically what he's saying, this is not an appeal process. I guess you just wanted to come before the council to let us know what your thoughts about.
I didn't get a chance before. I didn't know anything about it.
Okay, but we already voted on it, and it's already gone into the next steps and the next step. So I guess you would have to appeal this and go forward at the circuit court level,
Yes.
and that's where we're at now. From a council standpoint, there's nothing we can do at this point.
I understand. That's what I
Thank
need.
you, Mr.
That's
Brown.
what I need to know.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Item 20, resolution assessing the cost of abatement of unsafe structures at various locations.
All right, item number 20. Anyone like to speak on item number 20 on resolution abatement? All right, need a motion? Need a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules?
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Everybody else sleep. Everyone suspend, all in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt?
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 21, pursuant to Section 1153B1 Code of Alabama, authorization of demolition of unsafe structures at the listed locations.
All right, need a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules?
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Just uphold.
Okay, uphold.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
All right.
Item 22, resolution declaring, authorizing, and assessing cost of abatement of public nuisances on various lots.
Need a motion?
Motion uphold.
Need to suspend
Suspend
the
the
rules.
rules on this one, right?
Suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Ms.
Motion
Lyon?
uphold. Motion approved.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous, resolution is adopted.
All right, anything else from the council on the agenda? All right, and our public communication.
No, I've got
Oh, okay,
contingency
yes,
funds
yes.
that I have put before you, and Mr. Mayor, I'll put a list before you because these all need your approval.
Madam Clerk, can I interject one piece of information that's been shared with me? My understanding is that there was a group that was just brought forth by Councillor Graham, the River Region Generals. Are they still here?
Yes, there they go.
Okay. My understanding is that there has been lack of payment to the city for the use of the facilities that they were utilizing at that time.
So they have a debt that they owe the city?
That's my understanding. So we need to see if we can address that and then figure out a way to move forward.
What did he say? I'm sorry. She didn't hear what you said there.
My understanding is that there's a lack of payment for the facility use and that you were being allowed to use the facility at a reduced rate, but the city was paying overtime for those employees. And those are things that the city has to take into account when we're working with any entity, any group for any facility, is that we can't reduce the rate of our staff that we asked to work an event or we asked to work any facility, but that you all were granted a reduced rate and had not paid that.
I just want to say that also when I spoke with Mr. Card, I let him know that in order for us to be paying rent to you guys, they wasn't doing the things that they should have done. When they decided over at McIntyre that they wanted to bring in the summer programs and everything, where when we come in, we were the one that were doing the cleaning. We would clean up, we would do the trash cans, we would do the floors, we did all of this stuff. And we told them, we said, we shouldn't have to be doing this and then we're paying you guys rent in order to do this.
That my only, and I hear what you're saying, you know, that can be debated back and forth. The only thing is when you sign an agreement with the city of Montgomery, you have to pay what the city of Montgomery is asking you to pay.
Okay, there's no problem.
And then any complaints that you may have or ways to improve,
Yes.
I think there's a way to voice that and communicate that not only to the director of that department, but certainly to my office as well, for us to address that if those concerns aren't met. But you cannot, you can't skip paying for any facility rental of any kind that we have here in Montgomery.
Okay.
So we can figure that out. We can kind of circle back on getting
Right,
that maybe
right.
caught up to date.
Right.
And then we can see what some of the concerns were.
Correct.
And have that discussion with the Director of Parks and Recreation, then figure out where we go from there.
And right, and that's what we told him. We did have that conversation with him. We sure did.
Okay.
Okay, thank you guys.
Mayor, I have a question before we move on. If there is a debt that's owed and it's paid, or no, the overtime, is there a way then we can circumvent that? Is there hours that they can use it? I think they were trying to use it at hours that were convenient where they didn't interfere with any of the programs. And so that may have been the reason why they were after hours trying to use it. Is there a way we can get them where they're not using it after hours so that we don't have to pay that overtime? Because I do agree, because that is staff. So is there a way we can work around that?
In the summertime, there is no way. In the summertime, there's really no way. So our staff in the summertime work maximum hours during the week, Monday through Friday, and we try to curtail the overtime for that reason, and we try to give them a break as well. And so we'll have someone come in to work the evening time and work the weekends. I mean, so, you know, during the year time, it was pretty good. However, we can't ask them to continue to work overtime, you know, just because, I mean, to compensate that. So we did what we could do to try to help all summer long. We got through it. However, our staff in the summertime work straight through morning to evening and then come back on the weekend to work these events.
Okay. So can they use the gym like during the time they're there during the week instead of waiting till after hours? I'm just, because I agree with you, if we're paying staff overtime, then that's a concern. You know, we have to look at that. But if they were there in the daytime at the gym, would that, so they're already there with it open, I guess is what I'm saying. Could they use it during those hours so they won't have to be there over after hours?
Well, I'll use McIntyre as an example, Councilman Graham. So
We brought a program to McIntyre for the first time in 4 years. We had 50 kids over there.
Okay.
And the gym is a necessity in the summertime with 40, 50 kids. I mean, so we don't have any room to try to share that space with someone during that time period. And there's just too many other issues that can be
Mr. Carter, Ms. Graham, and we'll move on, a privilege of the chair. If you guys would take this meeting, discuss this, come up with a solution. We're not gonna air this out at the council meeting tonight. So if you guys would set up a time that you can meet, and Ms. Graham, if you wanna be a portion part of that meeting, you guys go ahead and meet. We're gonna move on to the next
So
item.
let me just mention this one
The
thing.
mayor
Okay,
brought that up
sure.
now, hold on.
So all I'll say is this, so we met earlier this week, and
I spoke with you on that.
I do have a commitment to try to get through Loveless for them. That's the last gym we have available. My vendor's gonna work on the schedule, try to get the floor together. But to the mayor's point, we will have to bring all the outstanding balances forward to make sure we get that correct. So we run those numbers now, and I'll get you an accurate number from my office by the end of the week, okay?
Thank you.
And then
Yes.
the gym, and you said the gym will be ready by the 1st of November is when they start. You said you think your people
I'm gonna speak to my vendor who's doing the floor tomorrow. We spoke today. He's now gonna talk in the morning to get his schedule together. Once I get his schedule together, I can commit to the schedule after that part.
Thank you,
Okay,
Mr.
will you
Carter.
let me know kind
I
of
will
what
let
you
you know,
get?
and I'll let them know as
Sound
well.
good.
Ms. Blaylock.
Thank you, ladies, for staying. Thank you, Mayor, for bringing it back up. Thank you.
These are the contingency funds that needs Mayor Reed's approval. I put a copy in front of you so you can look at them. For District 3, Brookview Neighborhood Association, 1,000. Chisholm Neighborhood Association, 4,500. Women of Will is not a vendor, so that's removing from the list. ASU Aspire for their Creative Writing Program. District 4, 250 to Greater Washington Park, 200 to Memorial Heights, 750 to Woodcrest. These are all neighborhood associations. 100 to Twin Gates, 100 to Brewer Heights, 100 to Hunter Station, 100 to Carver Park, 100 to Homeview, 100 to South Lawn, 100 to Danby Pines, 100 to Westgate, 100 to Western Hills, 100 to English Village, $50 to Historical Mobile Heights, $50 to Mobile Heights. For Councillor Calhoun, 1,000 to Danby Elementary School, 1,000 to Seth Johnson Elementary School, 1,000 to West Alabama Jubilee Community Association, and for District 7, 1,000 to Jeff Davis Basketball Varsity Boys. For District 8, 2,500 to Hateless Foundations. All of those except that one that I said we're withdrawing, the Women of Will, are all
right.
vendors.
Hey, Mr.
Ms.
Pro Tem,
Yes.
can I do one?
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Lyons.
I'd like to do 10 to
10,000,
McCullough.
10,000.
out of my contingency.
Wow, look at you, big spender.
Help them feed those folks.
Ms.
Okay.
Blaylock, I got one. $1,000 to ACTS CDC.
Okay. Is that all?
No, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir.
$1,000 to Floyd Middle School,
To,
Floyd Middle Magnet School, Ms. Johnson.
All right, I see you, Pro Tem.
All right, 1,000 to Echo, and 1,000 to ACT CDC.
is that it?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mayor, you okay with these?
I am. $550 to Westgate Neighborhood Association. This will be in addition to that one. Okay. All right.
All right. Need a
Mr.
motion?
Calhoun,
Mr. Pruitt,
make a motion to approve.
all in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Thank you, Mr. Pruitt. Anything else, Mr.
No, sir, that's all I have.
All right, and public communication roster for non-agenda items, we have Mr. Mike.